African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation as of October 20th, 2025. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue the special military operation. Units of the North Troop Group have improved their tactical position. Defeated were formations of mechanized, ranger brigades, an assault regiment of the armed forces of Ukraine, and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of the settlements Proletarskoye, Sadki, Pavlovka, Varakino, and Andriivka in the Sumy region. On the Kharkiv direction, units of motorized infantry and mechanized brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine were defeated in the areas of the settlements Dvyrchanskoye and Volchansk in the Kharkiv region. The armed forces of Ukraine lost over 200 servicemen, 5 vehicles, 3 artillery guns, and 3 ammunition depots. Units of the West Troop Group took more advantageous lines and positions. Defeated were personnel and equipment of 3 mechanized assault brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine, 2 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade in the areas of the settlements Krasny Lyman of the Donetsk People's Republic, Kurilovka, Petrovka, Ostrovsko, Bogoslavka, and Kupiansk in the Kharkiv region. Enemy losses amounted to up to 230 servicemen, 1 tank, 3 armored combat vehicles, 19 vehicles, 2 artillery guns, and 7 electronic warfare stations. 3 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the South Troop Group improved their position along the front line. Defeated were formations of 2 mechanized, mountain assault brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine, a territorial defense brigade, and a National Guard brigade in the areas of the settlements Berstok, Kramatorsk, Ivanopoli, Stepanovka, and Konstantinovka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 220 servicemen, 3 armored combat vehicles, including a German-made Marder infantry fighting vehicle, 6 pickups, and 3 field artillery guns. 2 electronic warfare stations and an ammunition depot were destroyed. Units of the Center Troop Group, as a result of active offensive actions, liberated the settlement Lenino of the Donetsk People's Republic. Damage inflicted on personnel and equipment of heavy mechanized, 3 mechanized, 2 airborne assault brigades, 2 assault regiments of the armed forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade, and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of Krasnoarmysk, Grishino, Teretskoye, Novonikolivka, Dimitrov, Volnoy, and Novopavlovka settlements of the Donetsk People's Republic and Novogorovka in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Losses of Ukrainian armed formations amounted to up to 510 servicemen, 4 armored combat vehicles, 6 cars, and 3 artillery guns. Units of the East Troop Group continued advancing deep into the enemy's defense. Damage inflicted on formations of 2 mechanized brigades, 2 assault regiments of the armed forces of Ukraine, and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of Privoli, Alexiivka, Egorovka in the Dnipropetrovsk region, and Dolinka in the Zaporizhia region. The enemy lost over 350 servicemen, 12 vehicles, 2 field artillery guns, and a warehouse of material resources. Units of the Dnieper Troop Group inflicted damage on personnel and equipment of a mechanized brigade, 2 coastal defense brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine, and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of Pavlovka, Malaya Tokmachka in the Zaporizhia region, Sadovo and Otradokomenka in the Kherson region. More than 65 servicemen, 9 vehicles, 3 artillery guns, and 2 warehouses of material resources were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian Armed Forces troop groups inflicted damage on energy facilities supporting the operation of enterprises of the Ukrainian military-industrial complex, storage sites of strike UAVs, as well as temporary deployment points of Ukrainian armed formations in 142 areas. Air defense means shot down 3 guided aerial bombs and 129 airplane-type unmanned aerial vehicles. Since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 667 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 91,329 unmanned aerial vehicles, 633 surface-to-air missile systems, 25,586 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,604 multiple launch rocket system vehicles, 30,624 field artillery and mortars, 44,418 units of special military automotive equipment. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.